Hey, how you doing? This is Dr. Ed Gray here to talk to you about DEI hiring and legacy hiring. I know there's been a lot of talk lately in the press and also all across America about DEI hiring as if it's a bad thing. It brings diversity into the workplace. It brings diversity into schools. It brings diversity. You know, that's one of the things that we've always been talked about, or at least it was talked about when I was a kid coming up. That's a long time ago, right? I guess perhaps America has outgrown diversity a little bit. Well, it's about to outgrow common sense, because when we talk about diversity hiring, it also means you hire women. It also means you hire people of color. It also means you consider them. But you know, some people make sure that they put DEI hiring and make sure that they implant it in people's minds as if you got hired and you happen to be a person of color, that you didn't deserve the job. Well, you know, every job that I received, I was qualified for it. And I outshined those qualifications. That's what you have to do with any job you have. And this being no different from any other time in life, I'm looking at this hiring now of the Dallas Cowboys coach. Yeah, that's right, the Dallas Cowboys coach. What do the Cowboys got to do with this? Well, that's the reason why we're doing this here at Gray Haven at this particular spot in my home, because this is my sports haven, if you will. So I want to go ahead and bring sports and bring this involved into this conversation. You know, when we talk about DEI hiring and we talk about legacy hiring. So people say, well, the only reason why you got this is because it was a DEI hire. Well, we got to get rid of diversity hiring and involving DEI hiring because we're not hiring the right people. Now, wait a minute, hold on. That's somebody, again, saying that Schottenheimer shouldn't have been hired as a Dallas Cowboys coach. Well, who the hell should have been hired as a Dallas Cowboys coach? Well, if he was black, you would probably say he was a DEI hire, right? But you can't say that. His name is Schottenheimer. But he's a legacy hire. A legacy hire. And that happens a lot of times in America. Legacy hiring. A legacy hire. Legacy hire. That means that perhaps he wasn't qualified for the job, but because his daddy did something, he got the job. Yeah, you got your legacy hire. DEI hire. Legacy hire. See, my complaint about all of these things is that when you have DEI hiring, people always say, you got hired because, well, you didn't deserve the job because, well, hey, DEI. That some well-deserving white person should have got that job, but, you know, we had to hire someone because DEI. You know, that's the reason why they have the Rooney Rule in the NFL, because they said, well, black people have been excluded from getting football coaching opportunities. So therefore, we have to have the Rooney Rule, which means that, hey, look, we got to go ahead and at least pretend we want you to be our coach, even though we don't want you to be our coach at all. So now what we do now is we have what is called a legacy hire. The Dallas Cowboys hired a legacy. Someone that you probably say now shouldn't even be the coach anyway. So you're going to push down the fact of DEI hiring and saying it's just totally off base, but you don't even say anything about your legacy hiring. So let me push down this legacy hiring that you had today. Oh, Schottenheimer's a good guy. I'm pretty sure he's a good guy. I don't have no problem with him being a good guy. But my problem is America has always been hypocritical with things. They're hypocritical with hiring black folks or not hiring black folk, but also having legacy hiring. Well, they have those because they know that we are never going to get that job because we're not part of the legacy. Schottenheimer is now the coach. The legacy hire. Now, if he does real well, then you say he's qualified. You know, that's what you'll say. But the reality of it is that the only reason why he got that job is because he was a legacy.